Hey everyone, it's Haley, and today I'm going to be doing a spoiler-free review for The Siren by Kiera. So this book is actually the first book that Kiera ever wrote, and it was initially self-published. So this doesn't have anything to do with the selection series. This is an entire entity, I can never say that word, in its own. So this review won't be spoiling the selection series at all, so no worries about that, even though the titles of the books themselves kind of spoil it, but moving on. So this book is about sirens, which if you don't know what sirens are, they're these figures in Greek mythology where they're kind of like these mermaid things. They're insanely beautiful women who have this insanely beautiful singing voice, and they will sing and kind of lure sailors to them, and they end up, like, they'll be on a cliff, so then the boat ends up crashing and they all end up dying. That's kind of the whole idea of it. So this kind of plays on that, and it's about a girl named Callan, I guess you would say her name like that, but she was part of a shipwreck, and that's how the ocean kind of recruited her to the sirens. So she has to serve out a 100-year sentence as a siren before she can be free, and she can be free to live the rest of her life without even remembering that she was a siren. So it's kind of about that. She's almost done her sentence. She's at 80 years when she meets a boy, and of course, true to Kiera, there's romance, and that's a big no-no for the ocean, for being a siren, to fall in love with a human, so it complicates things a bit. The writing of this book was okay. Kiera is honestly not the most amazing writer. I do really like the stories she tells, but they could be a little bit better written, I guess. My main issue with her is she names her characters these stupid names. Like, there's one character in this book that has a normal name, and it's Elizabeth. All the rest of the characters are like Callan, I don't even remember the guy's name, Kinley, like, I don't understand. And even in the selection series, in the air, there's like one of the people's name is Aaron, but it's spelled like A-R-W-E-N, like, it's spelled so dumb. Like, please just name people normal names. It's like Hollywood, like, oh my god, it bugs me. That's just a tiny pet peeve of mine. But other than that, the writing is okay. My big problem was that the ocean is a character in this novel. It's personified, which works in a way, but in a whole other way it doesn't. The ocean is like, she's having full conversations with the ocean. It's like talking to her as if it's a human. It was just so, it ended up just being so weird and kind of cliche that I couldn't handle it. Like, I just felt really uncomfortable reading those parts. Like, the ocean would laugh so the waves would move. Like, it was just really, really weird, and I don't think it really translated well into the story like she had wanted to. Like, I understand what she was trying to do, but I just don't think it worked very well. That being said, the characters, other than the ocean in this book, I found them all kind of to be one-dimensional. I didn't really care for them because I wasn't really given the chance to. Callan would do a lot of things and there wouldn't really be an explanation for it. It would just kind of happen, which didn't really make sense. I found that the sisters were kind of all conflated into one person. I think Padma was the most interesting character because she had a lot of backstory. They tried to give backstory for the other two girls, but I just felt like it wasn't really successful and it didn't really work into the story because you didn't hear from those characters that often. And Callan, I just couldn't really sympathize with. I just had a lot of trouble understanding her. Like, I could understand she's in a really weird position and it's awful, but I felt like there just was a lot of times where there were things that were happening that didn't really make sense, and her character was making like these decisions that I was like, what? I don't know. And the whole Kinley thing, I'm gonna get to that in plot. So, getting to plot, Kinley was honestly just kind of the boyfriend figure, which is fine. Sometimes that works, but in this book, it just didn't. Their romance was the weirdest thing because it was like, this insta-lovey just didn't make sense. Like, we keep on running into each other and then we're suddenly in love, like blah blah blah. It didn't make sense to me at all, and then everything was so weird in the end. I didn't like how things happened, like it was just weird. But I did really like the relationships. Other than the romantic relationships, I really liked the sisterhood. Even though the sisters weren't very dynamic, I liked their relationship together. I think focusing on that friendship a little bit really kind of salvaged what I didn't like about this book so much. I still didn't really like it, but it made it a little bit better. My one other issue is that I feel like a lot of what was going on with the ocean, with why was she was a siren, why all that was happening, wasn't explained, and when it was, the explanation came too late, which was really annoying. Like, I would have liked a little bit more backstory into why things were happening, because I know what sirens are. Like, I've heard of that mythology because it's in old dead white guys write about it all the time, and I'm an English major, so I hear about it all the time. But if you don't have prior knowledge to what sirens are, I think this would be a little bit confusing for you, because you're like, what is going on? Why is this happening? And you're not really offered that explanation. So yeah. So overall, I ended up giving this book a 2 out of 5 stars. It was quite a disappointment for me. I don't know. It didn't really sit well with me, but yeah. So that's all for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know if you have read this book, your thoughts on it, or if you're planning to, whatever. If you liked it, awesome. Tell me what you liked about it. If you didn't, we can rant about it. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!